Hello and welcome. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com, and today, I'm going to hit your dinner plate today, and I'm going to hit it hard. If you have been consuming any meat products or fish products, then you need to pay attention to this video. Some things have been happening that I'm not sure you understand. Well, before we get started, be sure and hit the like and subscribe because I have so much I want to teach you about God's recipe for excellent health. Since COVID, all of us have become very much educated in microbiology, specifically the messenger RNA. Now, you may not have liked microbiology in high school or college. I didn't because it was difficult, but I had to make it through. Yet, we all learned. And we learned about messenger RNA. Well, it hasn't gone away. It hasn't gone away. In fact, it's been more included in our food supply than you may be aware of. Well, there's talk going around on social media, and I wanted to just talk about it today. And it's about messenger RNA being included in livestock. Basically, what is happening is the pork industry, since I think the year is 2015, they have been injecting pigs with messenger RNA. They put it in their hip. Now, they are saying, so I went on all of their websites and started researching it. So the purpose is because there is so many infectious diseases that are being transmitted among the livestock. And so a farmer can lose an entire herd at one time. And they talk about in the ag pages, which are pro for this vaccination, is that China lost thousands of pigs just overnight because of an infectious disease. Well, we can talk about how God intended us to raise animals and we wouldn't have these issues. In fact, Joel Salatin of Polyface Farm, he teaches farmers how to raise animals appropriately. You'll never need a vaccination for these animals. Yet man in the mass production phase of agriculture has to use small pieces of land for large herds, and therefore we have a lot of infectious diseases. So vaccinations are very necessary. Well, what happens is when it goes into the muscle tissue of the pig, the ag industry is saying, and it's Dr. Kevin Folta who is doing this talk, he was saying that, well, there's probably that doesn't even exist by the time you eat that ham or that bacon or those pork chops. But there's a lot of unknowns in this. And that's where I want you to pay attention. There's a lot of unknowns about what is going to happen over the next 5, 10, 15 years. Now, because they love this industry so much, they love the messenger RNA vaccination in the pork, it's going to be then put into the beef and the fish industries. Now, the Missouri House bill, they actually came up with a House bill to counter this so that it would be on the labeling to tell you if there's potential gene therapy being done to the animal of the food that you're buying. Now, let me remind you of this. When man tries to manipulate things, sometimes we don't know the effect initially. It can take years down the road, and all of a sudden your grandchildren can no longer have children. They're infertile. There's so much research, and then also lack of evidence and lack of revelation as far as too many things aren't very transparent as what's really happening with this messenger RNA. So I just want you to be aware of it. Yes, it is true. The pork industry has been using it for many years, even prior to COVID. And yes, it is true. It's going to go into the beef and the chickens and the fish as well. So unless you know your farmer and unless you know who's feeding the animals that you choose to eat, you are going to be subject to this new vaccination process. They say it's just cheaper than to create virus vaccines, which is why actually the mRNA is not a vaccine, and they're saying it doesn't change your genetics. Well, it actually recodes your genetics. Even Dr. Kevin Folta said it's like a blueprint for your house. Well, your house is to be built according to that blueprint. Well, the messenger RNA changes your code, so now your genes respond in a different way. That is genetic modification. And so I'm just here to inform you so you can make the best decisions. If you say, Annette, this doesn't matter to me, then fine, go ahead and eat those meats. If you're saying, Annette, I think I really want to avoid this, then you have the information for you. So check it out at different websites, verify it for yourself, but I wanted you to be aware of what's going on in the meat industry. Thanks for watching, because I'm here for two reasons. And one, for those of you who don't know that God loves you and wants to have a personal relationship with you, then I want you to get to know him today. And if you don't know how, check my website, thebiblicalnutritionist.com. And second of all, for those of you who do know him, I want you to recognize it is time for us to gain back our health. We are going to take it back, and we are going to finish this mission strong.